Welcome to the Biology Domination Podcast, your NEET audio companion. I'm your host, and today we're doing episode 26, Principles of Inheritance and Variation. This is one of the top chapters for NEET 2026, consistently delivering 5 to 6 questions every single year. If you're commuting, cooking, or just resting your eyes from screens, this episode will walk you through every concept you need. Grab a mental notepad. Here we go. Let's start with Mendel's foundational laws. Imagine you have 2 alleles for every gene, one from your father, one from your mother. Mendel called the expressed form dominant and a hidden form recessive. His first law, law of dominance, says the dominant allele expresses itself in the F1 generation. His second law, law of segregation, says these 2 alleles separate during gamete formation. Each gamete carries only one allele for each gene. His third law, law of independent assortment, says genes on different chromosomes are inherited independently. Picture chromosomes being shuffled like cards at metaphase 1 of meiosis. That's independent assortment happening in real time. Memorize. Segregation happens at gamete formation. Assortment happens because different chromosomes move independently to poles. Now, the beautiful complexity beyond Mendel. First, incomplete dominance. In snapdragons, cross red with white, you get pink offspring. Neither allele is fully dominant. The F2 gives 1 red, 2 pink, 1 white. Notice, phenotypic ratio equals genotypic ratio here. That's different from Mendel's 3:1. Second, codominance. In AB blood group, both the A antigen and B antigen are expressed simultaneously on the red blood cell surface. Third, multiple alleles. The ABO blood group gene I has 3 alleles, IA, IB, and I. Each person carries only 2, but the population has 3. IA and IB are codominant. Both dominate over I. And then there's polygenic inheritance, traits controlled by multiple genes, like skin color, height, and intelligence. These show a continuous range, a bell curve, in populations. No clear dominant-recessive relationship. Sex-linked inheritance. This requires careful listening. Males are XY. They only have 1 X chromosome, so any recessive gene on the X chromosome will express in males because there's no second X to mask it. We call this hemizygous. In color blindness, a man who receives the recessive XC allele from his mother and Y from his father, XCY, will be colorblind. A woman needs 2 copies of the recessive allele to be affected, XCXC. A carrier female, XCXC, has normal vision but passes it on. Haemophilia A, factor VIII deficiency, same story. Queen Victoria was a famous carrier. Her sons developed hemophilia, her daughters became carriers who spread it to royal families across Europe. For NEET, always check, is more males affected? Does it skip through females? That's your X-linked flag. Y-linked disorders pass father to all sons, never to daughters. Hypertrichosis of ear pinnae, hairy ear condition, is the classic Y-linked example. Genetic disorders, your NEET scoring zone. Let's build a clear mental map. Chromosomal disorders, these arise from abnormal chromosome numbers. Down syndrome, trisomy 21. The person has 47 chromosomes. The extra chromosome 21 arises from non-disjunction during meiosis. Klinefelter syndrome, 47XXY. The person has 2 X chromosomes and 1 Y, phenotypically male but infertile. Turner syndrome, 45XO. Only 1 X, no second sex chromosome, phenotypically female, sterile, webbed neck. Now Mendelian disorders. Sickle cell anemia, autosomal recessive. A point mutation changes glutamic acid to valine in the beta-globin chain. This causes hemoglobin to form rigid rods under low oxygen, distorting red blood cells into a sickle shape. It's also an example of pleiotropy, one gene affecting oxygen transport, cell lifespan, and sickling, multiple phenotypic effects. Phenylketonuria, PKU. Lack of enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase causes phenylalanine accumulation, leads to intellectual disability if untreated. Huntington's chorea, autosomal dominant, progressive degeneration of basal ganglia, onset in middle age, caused by expanded CAG trinucleotide repeats. Each child of an affected person has a 50% chance of inheriting it. And that wraps episode 26 of the Biology Domination Podcast. Today you covered Mendel's 3 laws, monohybrid and dihybrid ratios, the exceptions to dominance, including incomplete dominance and codominance, ABO blood groups with multiple allelism, sex-linked inheritance with color blindness and haemophilia, and genetic disorders across chromosomal and Mendelian categories. Run through each of these in your head right now. If anything feels fuzzy, rewind and listen again. Episode 27 drops tomorrow, Molecular Basis of Inheritance, DNA Structure, Replication, and the Central Dogma. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Share this podcast with your NEET group. Every person you help is karma for your own rank. See you in episode 27.